Namaste, Goa Flowers. I am Manita Goa. For those of you who might be new to me and my channel, welcome. I finally figured out how to film in this new kitchen. You're used to seeing me in that beautiful red kitchen, which I kind of miss. It was so easy to film in there. This kitchen has a mirrored backsplash, which is not that convenient in and of itself because it gets dirty very easily, and also for filming it is not ideal. But this is what I have at the moment, so I'm just going to have to figure out a way and make the most out of it. That's my motto always in life. Today I'm going to share with you my 5 essential ingredients for a cookbook, and also I'm going to share with you my tiny little cookbook collection. If you enjoy this, give it a thumbs up, and also if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It's free and it helps me out a lot to continue to create free content for you. I personally think it is super helpful to create a list for yourself of what is essential for you in every area of your life, and cookbooks are no exception. I feel that there are so many cookbooks on the market, but not really that many great ones. It kind of reminds me a little bit of when we used to buy CDs back in the day, when it was a little bit annoying to buy the entire CD when you only enjoyed really 3 or maximum 4 of the songs on the CD. So thank goodness for iTunes. I basically sat back, I took a look at my cookbooks, and it started back in New York when I realized I had amassed so many cookbooks. I'll show you a photo of it here. When we moved to London, I gave most of them away. I sat back with a few. I've bought a couple since I've lived here the last 2 years. And now I just have this list of essentials that I go by. It saves me money, it saves me space, it saves me dust. I have found myself to be much more creative and happy in my cooking and with my cooking. So I highly recommend, and I hope that this video will inspire you to write your own list if you haven't already. And if you want to share it with me, please share it with me in the comment box below. Here is my 5 essential ingredients for a cookbook, as well as my personal favorite cookbooks. This essential should really be a given for a cookbook, but I haven't always found that most recipes are foolproof. And what I mean by foolproof is that you make something and it turns out a success, and then you can repeat it. Every single time you make that recipe, it turns out a success. Now, I know that our tastes are different, that some recipes might not have all of the tastes or the likes that you might want in a recipe, but if it is foolproof, then I feel you can just add a little bit of what you might feel might be missing. But it doesn't mean that it is a total failure when you've made it. When you work with foolproof recipes, I feel that that builds your confidence. And I think that that is really essential, because when you make something and if it turns out to be a failure, you just feel like a failure, and that's not a good feeling. 2 cookbooks that I have that I feel are super foolproof are A Modern Way to Cook and A Modern Way to Eat by Anna Jones. Anna Jones is amazing, and I feel that she truly has cracked the code on cooking. I've given these cookbooks away to a lot of my friends, and friends that haven't necessarily felt like they are great cooks and have been quite frustrated in their cooking. Once they've started to cook from these recipes, they start to feel really confident and happy in their cooking, and their families too are super happy. I swear to you that I have probably made like 95% of the recipes in both of these cookbooks, and I think that that is pretty amazing. So big thumbs up to Anna Jones. She rocks. This has been a huge pet peeve of mine. I feel that oftentimes I've been making recipes that are healthy and tasty and vegetarian and all of that, but it doesn't feel complete. It feels like, now what am I going to eat with this? This is not going to fill me up. This is not going to fill my husband up. So that to me is very important, that what I'm making is a complete meal in and of itself. I don't need to make 3 or 4 different dishes. That's one thing I have a problem with dinner. I realized I love breakfast, I love lunch, but dinner to me was always challenging because I felt like it was such a huge big thing to make. So I decided to just completely pare it down, and even if it was a tiny little thing, I wanted it to be a complete meal that would fill us up. This is something that I really learned from Anna Jones's books. She is a master at creating complete meals. Another book that I have also really enjoyed for complete meals is the Modern Ayurvedic Cookbook, an amazing cookbook that I've had for a lot of years, and it keeps just following me wherever it is that I go. The book that actually made me realize that I enjoy complete meals is Thrive Foods by Brendan Brazier. So although this cookbook I really enjoy, it has great recipes in it, I feel that oftentimes when I make the recipes in this book is that I need to make so many other things in order to complete it. But knowing that now, I still keep this cookbook because there are so many amazing recipes that I do enjoy and that I thrive on, but it isn't quite as complete as the 3 other cookbooks that I have just mentioned. This ingredient, I feel, also is very dependent on the 2 previous ingredients, particularly having created confidence within yourself through foolproof recipes. Then you're going to start to feel very inspired to go beyond what you are used to creating. I recently bought one cookbook of Persian cooking, which is a cuisine that I have not been very familiar with, and it's called The Saffron Tales. As I was working my way through this cookbook, which offers really foolproof recipes, complete meals, amazing spices and tastes, I really love it. I started to find myself so inspired by this cooking, and I just wanted more and more and more and more. So you know that it's a good cookbook also when it just inspires you to want to go beyond what it is that you normally do. Now, I tend to cook a lot of Indian food, so I have most of the spices that involves in Indian cooking. And now that I have gotten into Persian cooking, I have also gotten a lot of the ingredients that is involved in Persian cooking. I also live in London, so for me it's not that difficult to get a lot of the ingredients that I need. But that said, I do really appreciate when a lot of the same ingredients are repeated in the recipes in a cookbook, because oftentimes you will buy one ingredient and then you just use it for that one recipe and then you never use it again. And that's basically a waste of money to me. That is another thing that I feel that Anna Jones is really good at, using a lot of the same ingredients for all of her recipes in her cookbooks. I know I'm giving Anna a huge plug here, but I feel she really deserves it. So definitely during the week, I don't want to spend, a whole lot of time on my cooking. But if I know that the recipe is foolproof, if I know that it's going to turn out well, of course it is worth it. And also there are some times, on the weekend when I will spend a little bit more time in order to create a dish, and I feel that that is worth it. There is a cookbook that I have had for a lot of years as well. It's called American Masala, and this is a fusion of American and Indian food. It is incredible, this cookbook. It is super, super time consuming. You will literally almost chop yourself to death in preparation to make these meals, but it is worth it. I've made so much from this cookbook. Every time I've made it and served it to my friends and my family, they love it. It's literally like 5-star Indian cooking. So I highly recommend this book as well, but just keep that in mind. And this is okay for me as long as I know beforehand that it's going to take time, I'm willing to spend the time, and it is worth it, then of course it's worth it. That said, if you're going to go out and eat, that is actually also pretty time consuming. Getting yourself to the restaurant, waiting to be served, waiting to get the food, eating, and then going back home, all of that takes time. So if you take that into consideration, if you spend 30 minutes or 45 minutes even to prepare your food and you're at home, then I feel that that still is pretty good. But everyone, of course, has their time limit, but it's always worth it to spend the time to cook your own food, make your own food, know what goes into it, and fill yourself up with goodness. So that basically is it. I hope you enjoyed hearing my 5 ingredients for what I appreciate in a cookbook, as well as seeing my little tiny cookbook collection. I might add a few new cookbooks soon, but I've just been enjoying this and sort of creating my own new little recipes, and we'll see if I end up adding on other books to this or not. But I do have other sources where I do gain inspiration from and where I cook from. If you want to hear where those resources are or what those resources are, let me know in the comment box below. I'll be glad to make another video. And I want to hear from you. Let me know if this inspired you, what you learned from it, if you had any epiphanies, what your list might be. I love to hear from you, so type along, type along. I will see you in the next video. I hope you're well. I hope you're thriving. I hope you're feeding yourself with goodness. Bye. The challenge has been that there's a window, no, not a window, it's a mirror. I always mix windows and mirrors. And I'm also going to share with you my tiny, teensy, bitsy, pinsy, bitsy, beansy. What am I saying?